Hello! Today's session is posture and mobility for healthy backs. So we focus on mobility because we want to move all our joints through their full range of motion. And we want to also focus on our core because a strong core really supports that mobility and it also helps us with our posture as well. So let's begin with a warm-up. So let's pop our feet underneath our hips. Let's lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. We want that rib cage stacked over the hips or stacked over the pelvis, chest forwards, shoulders down away from the ears. Let's take a breath in. And as we exhale, let's bring those arms up towards your ears, circle them round and down. And again. Try not to lose that connection between your rib cage and your hips so we don't flare the ribs out the front. Good, 2 more. Last one. From here, we're going to come into a roll down. So we're going to take a breath in. As we exhale, nudge your chin towards the chest and start to round and roll your spine forwards and down. Breath in at the bottom and exhale, tuck the tailbone and restack all the way up, bone by bone. Head is the last thing that comes up. And again, exhale. Sequentially roll that spine forwards and down. Relax the arms. Eye line is in towards your knees. Take a breath in as you exhale, rebuild. And again. Keep that sense of connection in the core, that belly button drawing up towards the spine, even when you're rolled down. Coming back up. Good. Let's do 2 more here. Make sure we're not locking the knees out. You can have a very soft bend in the knees if that's helpful. Last one here. And restack all the way up. Let's come and sit on the floor in a cross-legged position. If this isn't comfortable for your hips, you can sit in a long frog, or you can sit up on a cushion or a block if you've got one to hand. So let's find those sit bones, lengthen the crown of the head up towards the ceiling. Arms out to the side. We're going to lift up and out of both hips and take a side reach. We're then going to float the arms all the way up and over to the other side. So try and find length on both sides of the hips. We're not collapsing down like that. And we also want to try and find that sense of opposition. So as I'm reaching this way, this hip is pressing down towards the mat. One more each side. Last one. And rebuild. Come onto your hands and knees and we're going to do a cat-cow. So we want the knees underneath the hips and the wrists directly underneath the shoulders. Spine starts in neutral, back of the head is the highest point. Take a breath in. As you exhale, tuck the tailbone, draw the belly button up towards the spine and flex through into your cat. Breath in, exhale, send the head and tailbone away from each other. You're coming through your neutral into your cow. Send your shoulder blades down your back. And again, through neutral and up into your cat. Really draw that belly button up. Try and get that roundedness in the lower back. Head and tail bone away from each other. Now try and get that extension in the thoracic, in the upper spine. And again. Two more. Last one. Back to neutral. Once you finish the last repetition, come to rest. Turn yourself over, and then let's come and do some exercises lying on our back. So gently bring yourself down to the mat. Take a moment, let your spine settle into the floor. Heavy tailbone, heavy back of the rib cage, heavy back of the head. We're going to bring our legs and feet together with our arms in a low V, and we're going to send our legs and pelvis to one side, keeping the shoulder blades down. Bring those legs up towards the center and then over to the other side. Keep those feet glued together. Keep the knees glued together. Don't let them come apart. And remember, those shoulder blades are also super glued to the mat. Keep that core engagement. We're not just flopping the legs over to the floor. Last two. Last one. Back to the center. Arms down by your side. Feet and legs hip width apart and parallel. Let's come into some spine curls. So from our neutral, we're going to tuck the tailbone gently, imprint the lower spine into the mat and start to peel the spine up off the mat, bone by bone. Breath in at the top, exhale, soften the chest bone, wheel down, bone by bone by bone. Back to neutral. Tuck, gentle imprint, peel up. Keep that tailbone tucking underneath. Breath in, exhale, roll back down. Feel the connection between the soles of your feet and the floor, using that posterior chain, so your hamstrings and your glutes, as you go up and down. Good, let's do 3 more here. And 2. Last one. Come back to your neutral. Okay, from here, let's pick up our legs off the floor one at a time, holding our double knee fold. We're going to toe tap. We're going to tap one toe down towards the floor, draw it back up. Repeat on the other side. Pelvis and spine are not moving. You can think of your 2 prominent hip bones on either side here and your pubic bone on the same level. You could balance a bowl of soup on there and it would not spill. Good, let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest, little rock from side to side, and then come back into your double knee fold, arms down by your side. Send your right leg away from you, draw it back in, and then your left. This is a progression of the toe taps because we're lengthening the lever. The leg is now further away from us, which creates more of a load. And again, feel the abdominal connection, drawing down towards the mat. Pelvis and spine staying in neutral. We've got 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hug your knees into your chest, little rock from side to side. Well done. Let's pop those feet down on the floor. Feet and legs back to hip width apart and parallel. Clasp your hands behind your head, elbows in your peripheral vision. Take a breath in. As you exhale, chin towards the chest, curl up. Come back down. Just curling to roughly the bottom of the shoulder blades or thereabouts. Try not to pull on your head and the neck. Once the head is off the floor, see if you can slide the rib cage down to the hips to create the lift. Good. Good. Let's come into oblique curl up. So we're going to curl up and rotate, sending one armpit towards the opposite knee and then all the way back down. Other side, up and across and down. Alternating sides each time. Good. 7, 8, 9, 10, and come back down. And take your hands away from your head to rest. Let's bring ourselves up to sitting carefully. And we're going to come over onto hands and knees. So we're in our 4-point kneeling, wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. We're just going to start with some hip circles. So in fact, I'm going to bring my knees slightly closer together to do this. I'm going to pick my left leg off of the floor and I'm going to circle it round just to get the movement into that hip joint. And then reverse. And then change sides. Pick up the other leg and circle. And reverse. And then bring the legs back down. Widen them slightly so that the knees are now hip width apart. We're going to come into our tabletop. So let's start by sliding the left leg away along the floor. Lifting right arm, left leg. Hold. Lower back down. Draw the leg back in. Other side. Right leg extends. Left arm, right leg lift. We hold momentarily and then we come back to the start position. So keep that sense of your shoelaces facing the floor. We do this so that we don't rotate the hips. Keep the sense of abdominals drawing in and up, supporting that lower back so we don't just drop the lower back or sink the lower back towards the floor. Four more. Last 2. Last 1. From here, come back to your start position. Get yourself back into your rest position. Give those wrists a stretch out, little circle. And then you're going to come and lie on your tummies. We are going to do dart here first. So we want our arms down by our side, palms facing up. Our forehead is down onto the mat. My legs are slightly apart, not too wide. I'm going to squeeze my glutes, little bit of core. I'm going to take a breath in as I exhale, lifting head and chest, floating arms up and rotating the palms so they now face the body. Then I'm going to lengthen as I lower back down. And again. Focusing on that lifting off the chest. Good. 3 more here. 2 and 1. Good. And we'll press ourselves back up and into our rest position again, sending the hips back towards the heels. Take some nice breaths here into the back and sides of your rib cage. And then tuck your tailbone and come up to kneeling. So we're going to take a hip flexor stretch here. Now I'm on quite a hard floor, so I'm going to use a cushion. You might not need it if you're on carpet. So what I'm going to do is put my left knee on the cushion and my right leg in front. Again, if you've got a thick mat or carpet, you might not need the cushion, but it's a bit sore on my knee otherwise, a bit hard. So let's square ourselves off to the short edge of the mat. Keep that chest lifted, bit of core engaged, and bring yourself forwards so you can feel a stretch up the back of that left leg. And then return. And again. Lovely. Then we'll change sides. Right leg comes onto the cushion. If you're using one, left leg forwards. Square yourself off to that small edge of the mat. And forwards you come. And return. One more. And then bring yourself back. We can get rid of the cushion and we're going to come and lie ourselves back down on our front. We're going to do full cobra here. So we want our arms in a W shape with the fingertips in line with the eyes, forehead down on the mat and legs slightly apart. Take a breath in as you exhale, nudge your nose forward, lift your head and chest and then straightening the arms, lifting into your full cobra. Bend your elbows as you lengthen and lower all the way back down sequentially. And again. Squeeze those glutes a little bit. And lower. Full spinal extension here. If your back doesn't like it, just skip it. It's not a necessity. If it's painful, we don't want to do it. We're going to go for 3 more. Head, chest, hips as you come up. And then bend the elbows, hips, chest, head as you come back down. 2. 1 more. From here, press yourself back up and sit yourself back into your rest position. Tuck your tailbone, let that spine stretch out. And breathe deeply into the back and sides of your rib cage. And take your arms out wide to the left. Place your right hand on top of your left hand. And then out wide to your right, placing your left hand on top of your right hand. Back to the center with the arms, tuck your tailbone, rebuild your spine up, come up to tall kneeling. Okay, we're going to come up to standing, but we're just going to take our time here just to let the blood come back to our head so that we don't get lightheaded or dizzy. Obviously, you can take longer if you need, pause the video, get a little bit of water if you want to, but we're just coming right down to the end now. And then let's come and stand and face the front. Feet underneath the hips, crown of the head lifting to the ceiling. We're going to circle the shoulders up, back and down. We're going to take the feet wider. We're going to float the right arm up to your ear, lift up and over, and then float down, other side. And again. Good, one more each side. Back to the center, bring the feet underneath the hips, arms up to your ears, circle down and around, and again. Last one. Arms down. And thank you ever so much for joining. You are all done. If you've enjoyed the sessions, then you might like to consider upgrading to the premium membership on the Stronger Together School community, where you can access more workouts, longer workouts, and structured training plans as well. Have a wonderful day. Thank you again for joining me, and I'll see you soon.